That slow, shuffling walk you've been noticing, maybe in yourself, maybe in someone you love, is not just a sign of getting older. It is your body sending you a message. And if you ignore it long enough, that message has a way of turning into something far more serious than a change in the way you move. Shuffling when you walk, short, dragging steps, feet barely leaving the ground, a hunched posture, slow and cautious movement, affects millions of seniors in the United States. Most people chalk it up to age. Their doctor might not even mention it during a routine visit. And that silence is exactly what makes it so dangerous, because here's what most people don't realize. A shuffling gait is one of the strongest predictors of a serious fall in older adults. And falls, as you may already know, are the #1 cause of injury-related death in people over 65 in this country. A shuffling walk is also one of the earliest visible signs of several underlying health conditions that are completely manageable, if you catch them early enough. In today's video, we are going to talk about exactly what causes a shuffling gait, why it happens, what it means for your long-term health, and, most importantly, what you can actually do about it. By the time you reach the end of this video, you are going to understand your body better, feel more confident about what steps to take, and have practical tools you can start using right away. So let's get into it, because this matters far more than most people realize. The first thing to understand is what a shuffling gait actually is and why it develops. When we walk normally, we take long, confident strides. The heel strikes the ground first, the foot rolls forward, the toes push off, and the legs swing through cleanly. The arms swing at the sides, the head stays up, the posture stays relatively upright. A shuffling walk looks very different. The steps become short and choppy. The feet drag or barely clear the ground. The toes point downward slightly. The body may lean forward at the waist. The arms stop swinging naturally. The whole movement becomes slow, cautious, and guarded. Think about someone you may know, a parent, a neighbor, maybe even yourself, who used to walk with long, easy strides and somewhere along the way began taking small, careful steps everywhere they go. Maybe they hold walls when they pass through a hallway. Maybe they slow down dramatically at doorways or thresholds. That gradual change is not random, and it is not simply inevitable. It has specific causes, and those causes can be addressed. The surprising part is that most seniors with a shuffling gait have no idea why it started. They assume it is just what happens when you get older. But the truth is far more nuanced than that, and far more hopeful. One of the most common reasons seniors begin to shuffle is muscle weakness in the legs, hips, and core. As we age, the body naturally loses muscle mass. This process is gradual, often starting in our 40s and accelerating after 60. The medical term for significant age-related muscle loss is sarcopenia, but you do not need to remember that word. What matters is understanding what it means in practical terms. When the muscles in your thighs, hips, and lower legs become weak, lifting your feet completely off the ground during each step becomes harder. The brain senses this weakness and adjusts. The steps get shorter, the gait slows down. The body begins to compensate, leaning forward, widening the stance, gripping things for support. All of these changes are the nervous system's way of trying to keep you safe. But over time, they reinforce the pattern and make it harder to walk normally. There's another important reason this happens. Weak legs also affect balance. When you cannot feel steady and supported with each step, the natural response is to reduce the size of each stride. Shorter steps mean less time balancing on one leg, which feels safer. But the problem is that short shuffling steps actually increase your risk of tripping because your feet are dragging close to the ground. A small bump, a slight unevenness in the floor, even a thick rug becomes a real hazard. The good news is that muscle weakness is one of the most responsive conditions in the human body at any age. Research has consistently shown that older adults, including those well into their 80s and 90s, can rebuild meaningful muscle strength with targeted, consistent exercise. This is not wishful thinking. It is documented in decades of clinical studies. And we will talk about specific exercises shortly. But here's what most people don't realize. Muscle weakness is only one piece of the puzzle. There are several other underlying causes of a shuffling gait, and missing them is exactly where things can go wrong. Another major contributor is a problem with balance and inner ear function. Deep inside each ear is a delicate system called the vestibular system. It is essentially the body's internal gyroscope. It tells the brain where your head is positioned in space, whether you are leaning, whether you are in motion, and how to coordinate movement to keep you upright. As we get older, this system becomes less reliable. The tiny sensory cells in the inner ear can deteriorate. The signals sent to the brain become slower and less precise. This is why many seniors feel unsteady, especially when turning their head quickly, getting up from a chair, or walking on uneven surfaces. The brain senses this reduced reliability and again compensates by slowing everything down, shortening steps, and keeping the feet close to the ground. This is where things get interesting. Balance problems are not just about the inner ear. They also involve the eyes, the joints, and the nervous system all working together. When any one of those systems weakens, the whole network becomes less effective. Seniors with vision problems, for example, have a significantly higher rate of falls and shuffling gait, simply because the eyes play a crucial role in spatial awareness and movement coordination. There's a third major cause that is often completely overlooked, and it is one that I think is critically important to discuss. That cause is a neurological change in how the brain controls movement. The brain has a region called the basal ganglia, which helps regulate smooth, coordinated movement. In healthy walking, this region fires in a fluid, continuous rhythm, telling the legs when to swing, when to push off, when to lift, how far to step. As we get older, the signals from this region can slow down. The coordination becomes less precise. The steps become shorter and less fluid. In some seniors, this reflects early changes associated with Parkinson's disease, a condition that directly affects movement control and is characterized in part by a shuffling gait, reduced arm swing, and a forward-leaning posture. Parkinson's is not a rare condition. It is more common than most people realize, and its earliest signs, a subtle change in the way someone walks, a slight tremor in one hand, a change in handwriting, are easy to miss in routine health visits. Most seniors never hear this from their doctors. Early intervention in Parkinson's disease can make a meaningful difference in quality of life. If a shuffling gait has come on gradually and is accompanied by stiffness in the limbs, slowness in movement, or a resting tremor in the hands or feet, that is worth discussing with your physician. It does not mean you have Parkinson's disease, but it means a conversation with a doctor is the right next step. Stay with me, because what comes next changes everything when it comes to actually doing something about this. There is also a circulatory component that many seniors are not aware of. Poor blood circulation, especially in the legs, can contribute significantly to how you walk. When blood flow to the lower limbs is reduced, the muscles of the legs do not receive adequate oxygen and nutrients during movement. The result can be weakness, cramping, heaviness, or fatigue in the legs that begins shortly after walking starts. This condition, called peripheral artery disease, affects a surprisingly large number of older adults and is closely associated with other cardiovascular conditions, including high blood pressure, diabetes, and heart disease. If you notice that your legs feel heavy, tired, or painful after walking just a short distance, and the discomfort goes away when you rest, that pattern is worth bringing to your doctor's attention. It is not simply normal aging, and it is something that can be evaluated, managed, and improved. Before we move to the next point, there's something important that most seniors overlook, and it may actually be the most critical part of today's discussion. That is the role of posture and spinal alignment in how you walk. When we spend years sitting in chairs, driving cars, working at desks, or simply rounding forward as we age, the spine can develop a forward curve at the upper back. The medical term is kyphosis, but what matters practically is this. When the upper back rounds forward and the head begins to jut out in front of the body, the entire center of gravity shifts. The body naturally responds by shortening its steps, shuffling its feet, and moving more cautiously, because the normal upright posture that supports confident walking has been compromised. This postural change is gradual and almost invisible when it is happening. Most people do not notice how far forward they have begun to lean until a family member mentions it, or they happen to catch their own reflection walking past a window. The good news is that postural issues are among the most directly responsive to targeted exercise and awareness. The spine retains a significant degree of flexibility well into the later years of life, and specific stretches and strengthening exercises can help restore a more upright posture, which in turn directly improves the way you walk. Now let's talk about what you can actually do. Because this video is not just about understanding why the shuffle happens, it is about giving you tools you can use starting today. The single most effective thing most seniors can do to begin correcting a shuffling gait is to consciously practice deliberate walking. This sounds almost too simple, but it is backed by research and recommended by physical therapists who work specifically with older adults. Deliberate walking means slowing down your walk intentionally and focusing on each component of the stride. Lift each foot completely off the ground. Strike the ground with the heel first. Let the foot roll forward to the ball and then push off the toes. Take steps that are larger than your default shuffle. Keep your chin up rather than looking down at your feet. Allow your arms to swing naturally at your sides. Breathe steadily. At first, this kind of conscious practice may feel awkward. That is completely normal. What you are doing is essentially retraining the brain's movement patterns, creating new neural pathways that support a more confident, upright, heel-to-toe gait. Research in movement rehabilitation consistently shows that deliberate, focused practice of correct movement patterns can significantly improve gait quality in older adults, even those who have been shuffling for some time. What researchers found next surprised even the experts. Practicing on lines can help. Many physical therapists suggest walking along a line on the floor, a tile grout line, a piece of tape placed on the floor, or even an outdoor sidewalk crack, and consciously stepping over it with each stride. This gives the brain a target, activates the motor planning centers more robustly, and tends to naturally increase step height and stride length. Alongside deliberate walking, strength training for the legs and hips is non-negotiable. Now I know that phrase, strength training, may sound intimidating, especially if you have joint pain, balance concerns, or have never been particularly athletic. But the exercises that matter most for correcting a shuffling gait are simple, low impact, and can be done at home without any equipment. Chair sits are one of the most powerful exercises available to any older adult. Sit in a firm chair with your feet flat on the floor. Without using your hands, stand up as slowly and controlled as you can. Then sit back down just as slowly. Do this 10 times. This single exercise targets the exact muscles, the quadriceps in the front of the thigh, the glutes and the hips, that power a normal, confident walking stride. If you cannot yet stand without using your hands, begin by using them and gradually reduce how much support you need over the following weeks. Heel raises are another foundational exercise. Stand behind a chair and hold the back of it lightly for balance. Rise up onto your toes as high as you comfortably can. Hold for 2 seconds, then lower slowly. This strengthens the calf muscles, which are critical for the push-off phase of walking, the phase that most shufflers have lost. 10 to 15 repetitions twice a day can produce noticeable improvements in walking confidence within a few weeks. Hip marching, done seated, is particularly helpful for seniors who are not yet ready to exercise standing up. Sit in a chair with your back relatively upright. Lift one knee up toward the chest as high as comfortably possible. Hold briefly, then lower. Alternate sides. This directly works the hip flexors, the muscles responsible for lifting the legs during walking, and helps counteract the weakness and tightness that contribute to the shuffling pattern. Balance exercises are equally important, and they do not have to be complicated. Simply standing on one foot for as long as you safely can, with a chair or wall within arm's reach, directly trains the balance system. Begin by standing on the stronger leg, hold for 10 seconds, switch. Over time, increase the duration. Even 30 seconds on each foot, practiced daily, creates meaningful improvements in the stability that walking requires. The good news is that these exercises do not require a gym, a trainer, or any special equipment. They require only consistency. 15 to 20 minutes a day, 5 or 6 days a week, is enough to begin changing how you walk and how you feel. There is also a remarkable role that music plays in gait rehabilitation, and it is worth mentioning because many people find it genuinely helpful. Research has shown that walking in rhythm to music, particularly music with a steady beat, tends to naturally improve stride length, walking speed, and foot clearance in older adults, including those with Parkinson's-related gait changes. Something about an external rhythm helps the brain regulate movement in a way that conscious effort alone sometimes cannot. If you enjoy music, try putting on something with a moderately upbeat tempo and walking in time with the beat. Many people are surprised by how much easier and more natural their walk feels when they do. Footwear also deserves more attention than most seniors give it. Shoes that are worn down, have slippery soles, or do not provide adequate support can significantly worsen a shuffling gait. The ideal footwear for older adults features a low, non-slip sole, a secure fit around the heel, adequate toe box width, and some firmness through the midsole. Slippers and socks on smooth floors are among the most common contributors to dangerous shuffling and falling in the home environment. If you are spending significant time in slippers or socks on wood or tile floors, that is worth reconsidering. Now, and this is important, if a shuffling gait has developed gradually over months or years, or if it has come on more suddenly, it is essential to discuss it with your physician. A doctor can evaluate whether there are underlying conditions, neurological, circulatory, orthopedic or otherwise, that need to be identified and treated. Physical therapy, prescribed specifically for gait rehabilitation, is one of the most effective interventions available and is covered by Medicare for older adults who qualify. Do not assume that a shuffling walk is simply aging and move on. Get it evaluated. As always, please consult your doctor or healthcare provider before making any significant changes to your diet, exercise routine, or medications. Every person's health situation is different, and personalized guidance from your own physician is always the most important advice. If you remember only one thing from today's video, make it this. A shuffling gait is not a life sentence. It is a signal. It is your body telling you that something needs attention. And in most cases, that something responds extraordinarily well to the right kind of consistent effort. Think about what it would mean to walk with confidence again. To move through your home without holding the walls. To take a walk with your grandchildren without feeling uncertain about every step. To stand up from a chair without bracing yourself. These things are not out of reach. They are the realistic outcomes that thousands of older adults have achieved by taking exactly the steps we discussed today. Deliberately practicing their walk, building leg strength, training their balance, addressing their posture, and working with their healthcare team. Getting older does not mean getting weaker. The human body, even in its later decades, has a remarkable ability to respond and adapt when we give it the right support. Small, consistent habits done day after day have a genuinely powerful impact on how you feel, how you move, and how freely you live. You have more control over your own strength and mobility than you may have been told. That is the truth, and it is worth holding on to. If you found today's video helpful, I'd encourage you to subscribe to Senior Health with Dr. Westbrook. Every week we share practical, easy-to-understand health information designed specifically for older adults, because you deserve real answers, not complicated medical language. And drop a comment below letting us know which tip you found most useful today. I read every single one. Sonnet 4.6. Low,